The 2026 Lexus ES 300h doesn't try to win you over with aggressive styling or sports car theatrics. Instead, it quietly challenges rivals like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class by doubling down on comfort, efficiency, and refinement. But, in a world where luxury is becoming more digital and performance-driven, we have to ask, does this calm hybrid sedan still feel relevant, or is it starting to fall behind the curve? Hello everyone, welcome back to Luxora Motors. Today, we're taking a closer look at a sedan that has built its reputation on comfort and reliability, rather than flash. The 2026 Lexus ES 300h. This is a car that many buyers choose with their heads, but the real question is whether it can still appeal to the heart. Beyond its visual appeal, there are several important details that enthusiasts should know. The spindle grille on the Lexus ES 300h is not just a styling element. It also plays a role in managing airflow to support the cooling system of the hybrid powertrain. That means this bold design actually contributes to efficiency and thermal stability. The headlights feature advanced LED technology, with Lexus's signature L-shaped daytime running lights. This isn't purely aesthetic. It improves nighttime visibility with a more controlled and evenly distributed beam pattern. On higher trims, adaptive high beam technology is available, automatically adjusting light intensity to avoid blinding oncoming drivers. Another subtle but meaningful detail is the smoother hood contour compared to earlier versions. This helps reduce aerodynamic drag, which in turn supports better fuel efficiency, an important factor for a hybrid sedan. So, while the front design may appear simple at first glance, it is actually quite functional beneath the surface. At the rear, there are also small but meaningful touches that Lexus fans will appreciate. The hybrid badge, with its subtle blue accent, signals that this is part of Lexus's electrified lineup. It adds a layer of identity for buyers who value efficiency without going fully electric. The horizontally stretched taillights are not just about creating a wider visual stance. They also improve visibility from a distance, especially in low light or poor weather conditions. Lexus is known for its high-quality lighting elements, and the finish here feels more refined compared to some competitors in the same class. The clean rear bumper design also has practical advantages. With fewer complex shapes and aggressive elements, it tends to age better visually and is easier to maintain over time. Importantly, despite being a hybrid, the ES 300h still offers a generous trunk capacity, which addresses a common concern among hybrid buyers. Overall, the rear design may not be attention-grabbing, but it delivers a timeless sense of elegance. And for many Lexus buyers, that understated confidence is exactly the point. Step inside, and this is where the ES 300h really starts to justify its existence. The cabin is all about comfort, and Lexus knows exactly how to deliver that. Soft touch materials, smooth surfaces, and excellent build quality create an environment that feels calming from the moment you sit down. The seats are a highlight. They're wide, supportive, and clearly designed for long-distance comfort rather than aggressive driving. Rear seat space is generous, as well, making this a great option for those who prefer to be driven rather than drive themselves. However, we do have to point out that while the interior is beautifully put together, it doesn't feel as cutting-edge as some newer rivals. It's more traditional, and whether that's a strength or a weakness really depends on what you value in a luxury car. When it comes to technology, the 2026 ES 300h takes a balanced approach. There's a large infotainment display that supports modern connectivity features, including smartphone integration, and the system is more responsive than older Lexus setups. But here's where our analysis comes in. Compared to competitors that are pushing massive curved screens and fully digital interfaces, Lexus feels more conservative. Some drivers will appreciate this because it's easier to use and less distracting, but others might see it as a missed opportunity to innovate. Under the hood, the ES300H uses a hybrid powertrain that focuses on efficiency rather than outright performance. It combines a petrol engine with an electric motor to deliver smooth and quiet acceleration. This isn't a car that encourages spirited driving. Instead, it rewards a relaxed driving style. The ride quality is where it truly shines: soft, composed, and incredibly comfortable over long distances. Here at Luxora Motors, we think Lexus made a deliberate choice here. Rather than chasing performance numbers, they've prioritized refinement and efficiency. For many buyers, especially those using this car as a daily commuter or executive transport, that trade-off makes perfect sense. Pricing for the 2026 ES300H varies by market, but it generally sits in the mid to upper luxury sedan segment. In markets like Australia and the United States, it positions itself below flagship models, but above entry-level luxury sedans. Instead of offering high-performance variants, it focuses on long-term ownership value, better fuel efficiency, lower running costs, and strong reliability. At Luxora Motors, we think this pricing strategy makes sense for buyers who prioritize peace of mind over outright excitement. When we compare the ES300H to something like the BMW 5 Series, the differences become very clear. The BMW leans heavily into performance and driving dynamics, offering a more engaging experience behind the wheel. The Lexus, on the other hand, takes a completely different approach. It's quieter, softer, and more relaxed. We at Luxora Motors would say the ES300H feels more like a sanctuary, while the 5 Series feels like a driver's car. So, the real question becomes, what do you value more? If you want excitement, the BMW is hard to ignore. But if you want comfort and efficiency, the Lexus makes a very strong case for itself. The 2026 Lexus ES300H is not trying to reinvent the luxury sedan. Instead, it refines what it already does well: comfort, reliability, and efficiency. And in many ways, that consistency is exactly what makes it appealing. However, we can't ignore the fact that the segment is evolving. Competitors are becoming more tech-focused and performance-oriented, and Lexus risks being seen as too conservative if it doesn't adapt. Still, for buyers who want a stress-free ownership experience and a truly comfortable ride, the ES300H remains one of the most sensible choices in its class. So, what do you think about the 2026 Lexus ES300H? Would you choose this refined hybrid sedan over its more performance-focused rivals, or do you think Lexus needs to be more bold with its next update? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to Luxora Motors, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.